Welcome back to another tutorial on AP Classroom. This time what I want to take a look at is my reports. And the great thing about my reports, as you're going to be able to see in just a moment, is that it's really just such a great tool to be able to look at all the data that you want to see about your students and do a lot of comparison. You can use this in a number of ways, as you can imagine. You can figure out whether or not individual students need a little bit of support, which are the students who are just doing a fabulous job. And then, of course, you can always go back and take a look for all of us as teachers as to what might be something that we need to reteach. So here we're going to go ahead and get started. First place, of course, that I want to go to is My AP Classroom. So when I go over to the My AP Classroom, as you might remember from some of the previous videos with our interface here, we want to go over to the left-hand side. So I'm going to go ahead and close out the course resources here to make this a little bit easier for me to take a look at. And I want to go down to My Reports. Now under My Reports, I have two different options that I can look at. I can look at all of my assignments, or I can narrow down things to your progress checks. Okay, it's not really actually accurate. We can actually break down things a lot more. So let's go ahead and go over to all assignments. When you go over to the all assignments, like I just said a moment ago, you might be thinking, I can only take a look at every assignment that I've given right here. No, actually that's not the case. Go over to the right-hand side and take a look at how you can really break some things down. So we can look at all the assignments, or we could take a look at the progress checks. Or if I had assigned some, I could take a look at the quizzes that I assigned, the practice exams, or the videos. Now, a few notes I want to make about these that are just so important off of this. This allows me to check up on my students and see how they're doing. In the case of all the assignments, of course, I'm looking at everything. With progress checks, it's those progress checks at the end of the unit. If I wanted to create a quiz on here, here's the great news. Creating quizzes or exams, not only can you create that and have the students take it there, but it gives you all the data. And so you can take a look at how well they're doing, not only on content, but also on skills. When it comes to the videos, here's the cool thing about it. If I had given out these videos, you would see here students who had completed the videos and students who hadn't. Now, you can imagine one of those students might come up and say, hey, wait a second, Mr. Zucker, I did complete that video. To which my answer would be, you're right, you probably did watch it, but you didn't complete enough of it. How do I know that? If the system tells me that they haven't watched a video, then what that means is either they haven't watched it at all, or they haven't watched up to 90% of the video. That actually is considered completion. So it gives you a great way to check up on your students and make sure they complete the videos. Now, another way we can look at this is to just go over here to progress checks. And you'll notice here, now this is a demo class, so none of these students are real, so we don't have to worry about privacy issues. But notice here with all of these students that we have the answers that they have done underneath this Unit 1. Now you notice what's cool about this is that there's actually a legend up here that gives us a quick see on what's going on as far as how these students did. So for example, Melissa up here did incredibly well. She's in that 75 to 100% range. But if we go down a little bit further, we're going to see that Edward might need a little bit of help. He's all the way down in that 25 to 50% range on this. So it really breaks it down for us and gives us a quick and clear understanding about how the students are doing, both as a group and individually. Now, if I want to, I can also assign free response. In this demo class, we don't have any free response that have been assigned, but we can assign free responses and we can see how the students are doing over time as well off of that. Okay, having said that, I'm going to come back to my all assignments. And the reason why I want to do that is that if you are in all assignments, you can also check out that legend, the color legend. You just have to go over here to the right, and when you click on this, it'll give you the legend that you want to be able to see. Now, a few other things that I think are really important as far as options go on this interface. I can go up here, and if I want, I can actually compare all the years that I've taught since AP Classroom's come out. So that's another great resource to see how your classes have been doing over time. That allows you to just see if there's an issue going on with the class, maybe there's an issue, you know, the way pacing goes, maybe that particular year you didn't teach that particular issue in as much depth as you wanted to, so it gives you a comparison over the years. You also can take a look at the different institutions you might teach at. So for example, for me, I teach for the Archdiocese of Los Angeles. So you'll notice here I have my example district, I have my Archdiocese. And if I was showing you my classes, I'd be able to go to the Archdiocese, and then after that I'd be able to show you each one of the classes I had. Now the other thing that's cool is if I want to take a look at an individual student. So let's just say that over time I really want to see how Scott is doing, and so I can just come up here and I can go to select a student and then just go down and find Scott off of this. So I can go down here and find Scott, and once I find him, I just go ahead and click on him, and it's going to go ahead and give me all of his scores. So now I can take a look at that individual student. Scott's doing a great job, so we probably didn't need to look at him, but I'd be able to take a look and see how he's doing overall. So anyways, as you can tell, this is a really powerful tool once you get it going for you to be able to check on how students are doing individually, how the class is doing as a group. You can take a look at their overall skills as well as their content. You can see which students need support, whether or not in a particular unit you need to go back and reteach it. There are just so many options available. You can go back and you can take a look at how the class is doing. There are just so many options available to look at data and see what you need to do to support individual students or go back and support the class. Hope this was helpful, and I'll see you back at the Institute.